feel you.
It's harder for me to connect with them than it is for the ones who came after me. Yeah,
Your
right,
contemporaries.
Because take Kobe Bryant, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why Kobe Bryant, there'll never be another player that I feel about like I do Kobe Bryant, is not just because he was a great player, because LeBron is just as great. And, you know, some would argue even greater. I don't have a problem with that if you think LeBron or MJ or whoever is better. I don't, you know, whatever. I'm not here for that. I'm just, he's great. And he's one of the greatest. But the reason why he's my favorite, and I'm not necessarily saying that he's the best ever, but he's my favorite, is because I was there watching when he got drafted.
He's of your time.
You know what I mean? I saw him get drafted. I was watching the draft on television. I saw him, and I saw when the Lakers traded for him, and when he came to the Lakers, and all the way till his last game when he scored 80 or 60 points or whatever it was on his last game. I mean, I was there the whole time. You know? So to me, there's just something about that another player coming along will like, okay, yeah, he might even be better, but he won't be Kobe.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there'll never be another Kobe for me.
Yeah.
You know, just because of that.
Right.
And that's how I feel about, you know, a lot of the artists that were a
I
little
feel
bit
you.
ahead of my time.
Yeah,
you know,
because Aretha was already a legend when we were born.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly.
I understand that. I understand that. Because I actually had the same thing because, like, I've literally heard her voice every single day of my life. So, like, it was... She's always been big.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into her actually until the 80s. Because actually, like, late 70s is when Blues Brothers came out.
Okay.
And after seeing her in Blues Brothers, like, I didn't know the song Think, even though I guess my mom said, like, you hear the song all the time. Like, I just, like, it was old people's music, so I didn't think anything about it.
Right.
And then I saw the movie Blues Brothers, I'm like, oh my God, that is bomb.
Right.
Right? And so I was into her then, like that is awesome. And then I was coming to age, I was, you know, realizing I might be gay, and there was this gay dude that's like, I have to teach you about the gay icons, like you know, like Dionne Warwick, and he made me mixtape, because it's the 80s. He made me mix cassette tapes of Aretha Franklin, and that's when I was like listening to Say a Little Prayer for You, and Oh Me Oh My, and Gotta Find an Angel, and all them songs like that, Bridge Over Troubled Waters, and that's when I started getting into that. But I was into Freeway of Love, that Aretha Franklin, and Jimmy Lee, and like the R&B Aretha of the 80s and 90s, Honey, Another Night, Who's Zooming Who. Okay. That's that Aretha Franklin. That was like for me, like that's Aretha Franklin to me. Like the stuff before that, that's before I was born. What do I care?
Right.
I have respect for that.
Yeah.
But that's my Aretha Franklin. That's why in my book, Aretha always been there again, but Whitney was always number one for me. Same like Kobe, she's my favorite because I saw her
from the beginning.
From the very beginning, before the first album came out. When I saw her on the Merv Griffin show, or not Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to be in. I'm there for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I get you.
Yeah.
For me, it was just like, I don't know, it's because I just came from like a really big music family. All we did all day long was listen to music, and then we watched music videos. No, that's the one thing that I can't do. Because if I could sing, boy, Beyonce, bitch, I'll be giving you a run for your money. What's the one thing I was like, no, sit down right there. No, you don't need that one. Right. No, that's the one thing I can't. And I'm like, I think I could sing, but I'm tone deaf, so no, I can't. But in my household, it was in my mind, I could. But in my mind, no, Beyonce, bitch, what? No. But we played a lot of music all the time, so I got to hear music from oldies to new stuff, and just like my whole childhood. So I was always taught that you have to have even more respect for the singers like Aretha Franklin and Sam Cooke, and you know that's exactly. There would not be a Beyonce, there would not be an Aaliyah, Lauryn Hill.
They trying to be Aretha. Right,
exactly. So that's how I was taught.
18 Grammys.
Hello. Right. So that's how I was taught. Like you had to, if you couldn't do what Aretha was doing, then you might as well not even
sit down.
Exactly. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Right.
I saw her in concert twice. I saw her at the Democratic National Convention, and I saw her another time with Mr. James Brown.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I knew I had to see the legends.
Exactly.
I'm like, when am I going to get a chance to see them? And amazing. Amazing.
So I have a little clip. It's not long. It's Aretha in a little interview, which she didn't do a whole lot. She was pretty private, and she's known for being private. And I just want to say this. While I was doing like a little research on her before the show and looking some things up, it just reminded me that these people, these icons who are larger than life that we put up on these pedestals or whatever, that at the core, they're human.
Right.
They're human, and they're just people, and they're flawed, and they're imperfect, and they hurt, and they and they love, and they
still
hurt
gotta
others. It's just,
and they still gotta wipe their own ass.
And a lot of their stories. There's a lot of tragedy.
Oh my God, she's got a lot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
She got a lot.
So okay, I'm going to play this clip of Aretha.
You have singers that are trained, and then you have natural singers, people that, in my opinion, were just born to sing. And hopefully I was one of those.
Baby, here I am by the railroad tracks, waiting for my baby. It's coming on back.
I love to sing. It's just a natural thing for me.
And it won't be long. Won't be long.
You've been doing it all your life, yeah? Since you were 12?
I started very young. That's what I was going to say.
In your dad's church?
I really didn't want to sing at first, but my dad insisted that I do. My dad wanted me to take lessons, and I didn't want to take lessons, so I would run and hide every time the teacher came.
The choir, I became a soloist along with the choir. And I left the church at times to travel with my father, Reverend C.L. Franklin.
Amazing grace.
Then I decided I wanted to change fields, so I let him know. And he felt if this was what I wanted to do, then this is what I should do, and that he would help me as much as he could to get into the field of rhythm and blues and pop music.
If I had just one to see me through, hey baby, I won't make it with you. I really.
The name Queen of Soul, where did you get that name?
That title was given to me back in the 60s, around 62, by Purvis Spann, who was a
Radio personality.
Yes, radio WVON out in Chicago.
Oh.
Big DJ there.
No, you don't know me well.
My dad wanted me to be with a label that he thought could give me national and international exposure. I was with Columbia for 6 years before I went to Atlantic Records.
That's the best thing that happened to music.
We weren't overnight stars. It was gradual.
What you want? Baby, I got it. What you need? You know I got it.
Respect was on the charts, and it was very close to the top of the charts. Then we kind of knew something was happening.
It became an anthem for the civil rights movement.
Yes, it did become their mantra. That's true.
What an honor.
It was a battle cry, yeah. Everyone wants respect. Everyone needs respect. We all want respect, and we all want to be appreciated.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Kind of what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Even with that shitty audio from back in the day, you can still the power, and the just the all the feeling in her songs, in her voice, like just you can still feel it.
Effortless.
All my Facebook posts I've purposely put live videos of her singing live.
Yeah.
Just so you all know, like, she wasn't one of those singers that like only did on the album.
Singer.
Yeah.
Okay.
like
No
the
backup
album
tracks.
version is great. But just so you know, when you hear her do the runs, like, oh no, this is live.
Okay.
Like, it's coming out of her mouth. It sounds like the album.
Okay.
It's that good.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was amazing. I do
It
have
was
some
incredible.
I have some shade.
Effortless.
You want some shade?
Yeah.
So my friend Kelly is a stage manager. He's like the head stage manager at the Symphony Orchestra in Chicago. And he's worked with a lot of artists, including Miss Franklin. And she was one of his least favorite artists to work with because she was so difficult. The diva aspect of her, she was truly
they
a
said
diva.
her ego was as large as the rest of her. As large as her legend. Her ego was that large.
Yeah, and she was not always nice to the stagehands and stuff like that. She yelled at them, and then she always had a big thing about air conditioning. Like there's no air conditioning around, and I guess it went even extended to off stage. If you would visit her in her hotel, it would always be hot because she didn't like AC because it ruined her voice.
Wow.
Okay.
So actually, if you ever get a chance to see the first VH1's Divas Live, which Aretha's on with Carole King and Celine Dion and Mariah Carey, there is a pop-up video version of it. It is so good because they give you all the tea of the backstage stuff. Where Aretha almost shut down production because of the air conditioning, and at the taping that night, they had to put an armed guard in front of the AC unit to make sure nobody turned it on.
Wow.
Otherwise, she wasn't gonna sing.
Not an armed guard.
An armed guard. They all say
didn't play.
Mariah Carey was up her ass all day.
I bet.
Yeah, but she knows that.
Only thing Mariah Carey could do was just slide complaints in.
I'm sure that
I would have been too.
That was her. I'm sure that was her idol.
I'm sure.
I mean,
like,
how
can I hang out with
Mariah
you?
Carey and not be into Aretha Franklin? I mean,
Can I hang out with you?
So
Hello.
I don't.
What she was gonna say?
And you know she has some good food.
Okay, oh, man.
I mean, I give her
Patti
credit.
LaBelle was there too?
I give her credit for that because she's a diva her own self. But for her to recognize, So.
Yeah, Patti LaBelle wasn't at that one. Patti and
No,
Aretha didn't actually have a lot of.
She could have been
in love
instead
with
of
each
some
other.
of those other ones they had there, though. 'Cause I was looking at that lineup. I was like, okay, it was like, this little. I'm like, there's a drop off. There's a big drop off. I'm not gonna say no names, but it's like we got some powerhouses, and then the talent drops off quite a bit.
And then we go to opening acts, some hopefuls,
right?
Well, they were chart-topping people.
Who y'all filling in for?
Who canceled at the last minute?
The Patty couldn't make it.
I'm telling you,
Right?
She probably was like, "Ain't no AC. Fuck this. Don't give a damn, Aretha."
She was like, "I ain't dealing with Aretha."
She was like, "Shit,
They actually did.
I'm
have
about to
beef.
be in here cooking these
I'm not
greens.
surprised.
Y'all ain't gonna have no AC on."
They were right. They were big rivals.
I'm not surprised.
They were big
Yeah.
rivals.
Definitely could see that.
Yeah.
I would just guess that.
Dion was a rival too.
Yeah. Man. Whew, okay. Well, you know what? I didn't even play the get into the topics thing because we kind of just started off into the topics. So y'all pretend like we played the get into the topics because we're into the topics already. We started off in the topics. This whole show was in the topics.
Was in the topics. We couldn't help it.
So
It was on our hearts.
it was really.
News and noteworthy.
Oh man, an airline employee commits suicide by plane.
What?
This is a thing.
Did he know?
This is a thing. Dudes are doing this shit. Dudes are committing suicide by plane.
I don't get it.
Like kamikaze.
You know what I mean? You don't get it. They taking the plane and crashing it.
On
That's
purpose.
crazy.
You gotta go
That's
somewhere.
so dangerous.
It is
Well, they trying to commit
dangerous.
suicide.
But you're gonna.
You don't commit suicide undangerously.
I know, but usually when somebody commits suicide, they only want to kill themselves. So this is very dangerous because it's such a high possibility of hurting other people.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We talk. A lot of these people don't just kill themselves, though. A lot of these what do you call them? Shooters, these spree shooters and stuff like that. A lot of that they plan on that ending with them dying. They don't plan on going to jail or giving up or anything. They plan on dying. So in a way, that's still suicide. But before they go, they're taking out random people. Sometimes they're taking out family members or their wife and kids and different things like that. It's like, why can't you guys, if you must do this, why can't you do it peacefully? Like
everybody else.
Like some people, like women tend to, if they, like, not saying anybody should commit suicide, but if that is where you're going, you know what I'm saying? Like, women tend to, like, they take some pills and they go lie down.
Oh Lord!
But if you
know what I'm saying?
if you
Like-
don't value your own life, why should
Yeah.
you value somebody else's?
That's true.
And there are some people that are the opposite.
know,
They actually
but-
value other people's lives more than their own.
Right.
That sounds like the other people that do the quietly
Right.
dignified
Yeah.
thing.
So that's what these people do. Okay, so this is what this. I guess this guy was kind of like it was a suicide mission, but a last hurrah all rolled into one.